A few years ago, I was fortunate enough to work with a leadership camp and program in Zimbabwe, Africa. And as a thank you for the work we were doing, the director of the camp, who was also a really great guide, took us out in the bush. He took us on a little safari. And during that safari, he said that we were going to be walking with lions. We weren't going to just stay in a vehicle and be kind of sheltered from the wildlife. We were going to walk in the bush. And he offered some insights into how to walk with lions safely. And one of the first rules, he says, like, he went through several of them. One was stay together. If we're walking with lions, make sure we stay in a very tight-knit group. It makes sense that the outlier might get picked off. If the lions actually do attack, they'll go for the one that's separated from the group. So stay together. And because that, as our group, we wanted to be able to take some great photography, he said, don't walk upright. Don't stand up like you're a human being. Lions have learned to fear the things that are walking upright. So when we're walking with lions, we know the lion's around. Kind of squat down, bend over. Don't look like you're a human being. They've learned to be afraid of those things. So don't approach them like the thing that they're afraid of. Another rule was if you see a lion, look around because there's probably more. And it's not the lion that you see that will get you in trouble. It's the lions that you don't see. So, okay, that's important. That's a good tip. The last one kind of caught me a little bit off guard, which was when a lion charges you, don't run. It seems counterintuitive, but if you think about it, it makes sense. So those were some of the guidelines to keep us safe as we were walking with lions. And our very first day out on our safari out in the bush, we drove for a little bit, and then we saw a jackal sitting underneath a tree. And I, remember enough from my, Discovery Channel days that you see a jackal, jackals follow lions, so there's probably lions around. So we stopped the car. We all got out. Our guide, Alistair, reminded us of the guidelines to keep us safe walking with lions. So we start walking, and we're kind of in a group, and we're walking along, and we see the jackal that kind of wanders off. We look past the jackal, and we see this beautiful, huge male lion laying in the shade underneath the tree. So what's the first thing we all do? Yeah, we all kind of like clump together and then squat down. And we start walking, not directly at the lions, because that would scare them off, but at our closest, the angle that'll bring us to our closest point of contact. So we're squatting, we're walking, and I've got my camera up to my eye, because I'd forgotten that rule that was intended to keep us safe, which is if you see a lion, look for the others, because it's not the lion that you see, it's the lions you don't see. So we're walking along, and I'm trying to focus on this lion. I move it just a little bit. And through my lens, I see right next to that lion, that big, beautiful male lion, there is another lion just to the left, still laying on its side in the bushes right next to it. Okay, so there was another lion. Now I'm thinking, man, this is a lion. These are big animals, and they've got big teeth and huge claws. I'm not going to miss these things. So as we kept on walking in our small group, crouched down, I start looking around, and sure enough, there's the lion we first saw, the other male lion laying next to it, and just behind these two lions, there's a female lion laying on her back in the sun like a house cat. And wow, there's two that I missed. And we keep looking around, and sure enough, behind those lions, there's two more females, and then another one. So as we walk closer and closer, I realized that one lion that I saw, there was actually 9. 9 lions, and I missed 8 of them. So that word about the lions that you see versus the lions you don't see, that's just really good advice about self-awareness. We may be aware of 1 or 2 things that trigger us and that can lead us into bad behavior. But be aware of those things that might sneak up on you. Stay present, and when you start feeling that you're behaving poorly, you'll know that there's something out there that you didn't see before. So just like lions, your triggers, or those things that will lead you astray, it's not the ones that you see, it's the one that you don't see that'll get you in trouble.